back then today with another news video for Last Epoch. This will potentially be a new series on the channel, so if you do like this style of video, then make sure to let me know in the comments below and leave a like on the video as well. But what we'll be doing is a no-nonsense breakdown of the most recent patch notes for Last Epoch. For this video, we've got good news regarding the recent Glyph of Despair prophecy changes, as well as further context and changes to the selling of arena keys, as well as mid-cycle changes, specifically buffs, which is really nice. But let's go in and let's break all this down. So this particular patch, it's more of a hotfix than a patch actually. It's just the one change in it, but it is a good change. So in the last patch, what they've done is they massively increased the cost of your Glyph of Despair prophecies. I believe they increased them by around about 10 times. They have reverted that change back to the original cost for them now. Glyph of Despair, if you are unsure, these are the glyphs that allow you to seal an affix and move it to a 5th slot, which allows you to put an affix of your choice into that particular slot. And one thing I'll say very quickly is if the particular affix is at tier 1, it will be 100% guaranteed to move. I only found it out myself recently, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't actually know that, so these glyphs are exceptionally good. But the change we've had in this patch, definitely a positive one. The cost of the prophecy has been reverted. Let's go in and look at some of the context they've given on this. So with this here, I have full details from the website, but I'll give a very quick summary. So many people were under the belief that this change was essentially to nerf the Merchants Guild, whose players were jumping back to Circle of Fortune to take advantage of these particular prophecies for your Glyphs of Despair. But the change, of course, primarily affected Circle of Fortune players. The long story short on this one is that it was a delayed change that was planned before 1.0. It was put through the pipeline in error. Definitely not a great look when this happens, but it is nice that they have reverted it so quickly. They have, however, said that this will likely change again with 1.1, but it will most likely be balanced based on information that they now know since the patch has been out. Next up, we have some information on the changes to arena keys and the prices these keys were selling for. So the change for this was in direct relation to players switching between factions. However, it was a change that had been planned for some time, and players using them to get gold in the Circle of Fortune to then switch to the Merchants Guild was the final push they needed to actually change it. This is something that I think they need to look at in future. They need to look at how easy it is to switch between the two of them. I don't know what the answer is. Complicated situation, but there are a few issues that are cropping up from people being able to switch between the two of them very easily. With this particular change anyway, they've said that going forward they will be looking to provide more context and rationale on the reasoning behind changes. That's great to hear. It's normally something they actually have a really good history of doing, so let's just hope going forward they keep this up. Finishing up here, we have some info on mid-cycle changes, specifically buffs. So the recent survey they put out, this was focused on whether or not they would make mid-cycle changes in regards to nerfs. The feedback they got on this, that if a bug is causing a build to vastly overperform like some of the ones we've seen, the majority of players are happy for this to be nerfed mid-cycle, as long as they get prior notification. For builds that benefit from bugs, but not to a huge extent, the consensus was that these builds won't be changed mid-cycle. Now, what wasn't discussed in the survey was bugs that may be causing a build to underperform. They thankfully confirmed that if a build is underperforming due to a bug fix, then this won't be held back at all and they'll be released when the actual fix is available. So essentially here, we won't get any mid-cycle large nerfs, but we can still expect mid-cycle buffs. So that is a quick breakdown of the recent patch notes and blog post for Last Epoch. Once again, if you want to see me do more of these videos going forward, then let me know in the comments below. And thanks for tuning in for this one. Stay safe. I'll see you all again soon.